What happened to my... Oh, jeez. Where did that disappear to now? Never a dull moment. Something always going haywire. Now my desktop audio mixer bar isn't working. That shouldn't have... All I did was change the color, and I don't know why my audio mixer bars are missing. Ah, crap. It's all your goddamn fault. Yeah. From the WDWL TV multiplex, with great anticipation, we bring you the pride of the station. The grumpy old man, me, and the grumpy vulture. You want to take a bow? Okay, take a bow. Take a bow. Go ahead. Take a bow. Well, at least your banner's straight. Did something right for a change. All right, back in your spotlight. Look at the camera. Get this out of the way. Hey. Roll call. Linda, Kathy, okay, roll call's over, show's over, done. See you, bye. That's a Kaiser show. Last night was epic. Man, I was shocked to see Shiz pop in. She's kind of getting to be a semi-regular. I'm loving it. Ow, 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 ow. So, how's everybody doing? How's the little one doing? 2 more days in school. I bet she can't wait. Probably climbing the walls. You got to remember, Linda, all Kaiser's show was roll call. Maybe a video, but it was a roll call. That's all it was. If he didn't do roll call, it wouldn't be a show. And not to mention inventing people. Because I would watch the chat very closely. And then you'd hear him, oh, hey, Sam for Beats, how you doing? Hey, I hope your surgery went well. And I'm looking like, there ain't nobody there. The end of this month is going to be interesting. Oh, okay. No heavy lifting. Oh, good. I thought maybe for a minute she was out and about on her own. I was going to say, oh, when the cat's away, the mice will play. Good. Mom's keeping an eye on her. Oh, 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 oh. My trimmer finally arrived. FedEx finally figured out, let's get it out of Indianapolis and get it to Cleveland where it belongs. And it was here early. And I'll tell you what, I love my new FedEx delivery person because she makes sure my packages are by the side door, takes a very nice picture, not like my other idiot. Whoa, I gotta show you. Uh-oh. Easy, I'll be wrecking the studio. Look at the saw blade on that. Oh. And I'll tell you what, that saw blade is like something that you would take off of a Ryobi. This thing has got teeth on it, unbelievable. I can't wait to take it out and use it. That blade looks like it came off a handsaw. Not to mention it, on the edges of the teeth, it's got carbide tips. Oh, I can't wait to go out and buzz bomb some weeds with this thing. Yeah. Oh, I was happy to see that today. Oh, 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 oh. And of course, the whole yard is wet because it rained this morning. I can't wait to use that. You know, the picture of the saw blade, it looked like a chintzy, typical Chinese piece of crap. And that's why I was worried about ordering extra blades. Well, when I saw that blade, it looks like something that comes off a damn, regular saw. Not to mention the carbide tips on the edge of the... I'll never have to worry about wearing that blade out. You could cut wood with that blade. I can't wait to buzz bomb. My weeds, they're 3 foot tall in the backyard. Because, first of all, it took them forever to ship the goddamn thing, and it's been raining so much. So, I got to give it a day or two to dry out, and then I'll buzz all them weeds down. And then they lowered it $10 in price. I'm considering buying a second one. I really am. Keep one for a spare. Although it was, what did I pay? Like $32. 2 batteries, charger, okay. 2 sets of gloves, eyewear, 2 saw blades, a shitload of light light duty blades for weeds. And then it's got some. They're almost like knife blades. It came with a ton of accessories. Not to mention, 2 batteries. So for 24 bucks, I might order a second one for a backup. Although I know as soon as Mary Ann sees that, she'll want one. She'll be like, oh, where did you get that? Good old Temu.com. Yeah, I go out to make my morning coffee, and my cell phone buzzed at the same time. And I look down. I see a text message. I open the text message. Here's a picture of a box outside my side door. I was like, oh, I know what that is. Had I had my other FedEx driver, he'd have thrown it on the fucking front porch and run like hell. I had it all put together before it was time to get ready to leave to go see the shrink, which was a very productive appointment today. Then he looks at me and goes, do you want to schedule another one? I said, oh, hell yes. Okay. I can't remember when it is. I'll have to look on my appointment list. It was, he says to me, I want to go over something in the notes from our last visit. I said, okay. Did you say your mother was a professional wrestler? I said, yeah, I'm trying to get photographs. He said, I thought I typed that wrong. Really? I said, yeah, really. She was semi-pro, and then she went pro. Where did she wrestle? I said, the old Cleveland Arena. He must not be from around here because he kind of looked at me and goes, where's that? I said, well, it used to be. Now I think it's a vacant lot. I don't know if they ever built anything where the old Cleveland Arena was after they tore it down. I know it was on Euclid somewhere. Once they sold the Cleveland Barons, there wasn't too much. We had the Cleveland Barons, and I think at the time, the basketball team was called the Cleveland Knights. I'm not sure on that. Because then that team got sold, and then we acquired the new team, which is the Cavaliers. Yeah, we were a real sports town back in the day. Hey, Dynamo, how you doing? Yeah, we had baseball, football, basketball, hockey, professional wrestling. Not no more. The good old Cleveland Barons. I remember going to see them when I was little. And that was in the day before plexiglass. It was netting. And you didn't sit anywhere close to that net, because if a hockey puck came up off that ice and hit the net, if you were close, you could go home toothless with a puck permanently embedded in your face. And you weren't safe sitting ringside or sitting up in the top row, because a puck could go over the net and bean you in the top row. So in the days before safety was a concern and lawsuits, I think back in the day, if you got hit in the face with a puck, they gave you free tickets to the next couple of games, Here you go, don't sue us, have some free tickets. I wish I would have been able to get a picture of the look on my shrink's face when he saw my t-shirt today. I said to him, wait, they get better. He couldn't believe I wore that. Matter of fact, everybody that saw it couldn't believe I wore it. The looks I got walking through the fucking hospital. And it wasn't even really nasty. It just said, I don't need anger management. I just need people to stop pissing me off. Nothing bad about that one. Next appointment, I'm either going to wear the one that says I'm the nicest asshole you ever meet, or the one that says it's Mr. Asshole to you. I'm going to toss a coin in the morning. The world's largest rubber duck. Oh my God. Yeah, there could be a photo op in my future. I'm going to have to find out where it's going to be. That would be worth taking a drive out to, just to get a picture with the world's largest rubber duck. I wonder if they would let me lay on the ground and have the duck crushing me. Now that would be a photo op. Grumpy gets trampled by rubber duck. Where did you see that? I guess I'll have to gargle it. If it's going to be close, oh God, yeah. Shit, I'd stand in line for that. Oh, then I can't lay under it. I'll fucking drown. Well, then it's going to have to be along the shores of Lake Erie somewhere. Tomorrow morning I'll be gargling. Yeah. That would be a cool photo op. I would definitely go out for that. Definitely. I'm excited right now thinking about it. Yeah, if anybody's going to have a photo op with a big rubber duck, Kathy's like grumpy. That sounds cool. That would be a great photo for a meme. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. I hope it's close. I wouldn't be driving to Columbus, but that's not northeastern Ohio, so it's got to be around here. I'll have to find out where it's going to be, and then I'm definitely going to have to leave really early because there'll be a big line. But yeah, I'd like to get my picture taken with a big giant rubber duck. Holy shit! Oh, I got to get my picture taken with that. Oh, yeah. Definitely. I never knew there was a giant rubber duck. Oh, I don't want to go up to Put-in-Bay. Oh, gee, that's Sandusky. That's 100 miles away. Oh, man. I don't know if the shitbox would make it that far and back. Well, we'll have to figure something out. Yeah, be my luck, I'd run into my middle sister. I can't remember if it's Put-in-Bay or Kelly's Island. They got a good big monster cottage, whatever you call them, cabin. The big bucks part of the family. Yeah. Well, it gives me time to figure things out. Maybe if I offer to pay for gas, maybe Mary Ann would like to go up. That way she could drive. Oh, oh. In her little tiny red car. Her little Hyundai something or another. It's about the size of my shoe. Yeah, at least it's not like right around the corner. It's going to give me time to figure things out. I'll work something out. I definitely want my picture taken by a 71-foot duck. Yeah, you're right, Kathy. Sounds like a plan. Gives me plenty of time to work the logistics out. Cool. Grumpy and a giant duck. Replace the vulture with the giant duck. Yep, he'll be in the corporate office in the morning, a CEO's desk. He's talking about replacing me with a big duck. Then On the way out, I stopped at the pharmacy because I needed some over-the-counter drugs. Wouldn't you know it, they were out of 90% of the shit that I needed. I was like, what's going on here? The shelf was empty the last time I was here. Oh, the rep hasn't been around. Well, yeah, that's obvious. You would think if somebody gets a commission off of what they sell, wouldn't you make sure that your shelves are full all the time? It's been a month, and the shelf is still empty. The girl at the counter just rolled her eyes. She goes, yeah, you're not the first one to be bitching. Nobody wants to do their job today. How the hell, if you're on commission sales, how are you supporting yourself? In order to get a commission, you have to have product. That's like I stopped at a different gas station today to get smokes. Oh God! Don't let my Indian store will be throwing me out. You're buying your smoke somewhere else? I looked at the credit card machine and I said to the guy, it looks like something from 1970. He said, close. He goes, the guy that owns the station is so goddamn cheap, he buys nothing but old used equipment. You couldn't do a tap. It was just zip. You couldn't even insert the... I said, where do I plug the card in? He says, yeah, zip. No tap? Nope. No tap. Zip. That's old equipment. That's almost as good as the first time I ever saw Apple Pay in motion. Was it 2-3 years ago? I needed to pick up a prescription. And there was something wrong with my credit card. I was waiting for a new one because the one I had expired and the bank didn't send me a new one right away. So my son says, don't worry about it, I'll pay for it. I was like, whoa. We're standing at the counter and the girl says, X dollars. Holds up his cell phone by the machine. I said, what the hell are you doing? He goes, Apple Pay. I said, what the hell's Apple Pay? You just saw it. Apple Pay. I needed, let's see, Linda, what did I need? I needed vitamin D3. What is it, 50 or 75? 50 or 75. I needed biotin. And I needed vitamin C. Didn't have any of it. No vitamin C, no biotin, and no. They had D3 in 25 milligram, but they didn't have. No, I get 100. They had 25. I was like, what, I take 4 of these in the morning? Hey, I'm taking enough pills now. So, and I'm not going to Walgreens, that goddamn rip-off joint. I'm trying to think if we have a. I think we got a Rite Aid in the area somewhere. Goddamn Walgreens, goddamn. You need a finance man on premises to buy anything at Walgreens. Then I stopped at the Family Dollar that's on the way back from the hospital. I go in there and they reset the store again. I couldn't find anything the last time I was in the store. I walked in, I was like, what the hell? The racks were changed different direction. Instead of horizontal, they're vertical now. I stepped out the door and I looked to see if I was at Family Dollar. Took me 3 times as long to find shit. I was like, Jesus. I should have gone to my Family Dollar instead of this one. Although the girl at the cash register told me the reason they changed the aisles to prevent theft. Because now they can see from the front to the back of the store. Where before they were the other way. I was like, everywhere you go, there's people robbing stores blind. Yeah, she told me the theft was outrageous. So they turned the whole store around. She says now the way they've got the registers, they can just about see down every aisle. Not to mention, she said they put in about 40 cameras. They had a big monitor in the corner. So she says what we can't see from here, we can see up there. Then people wonder why prices go up. We're paying for all that shit. We paid for the crew to rearrange that store. We're paying for the cameras, the monitors, all the wiring, the labor. That gets passed on to customers. And Family Dollar's prices are slowly creeping up too. Oh, your Dollar General the same way, huh? As a matter of fact, they did the same thing at the my Dollar Tree. They turned the whole store around. It's sad. Jesus Christ. yeah, prices are increasing, but it's due to the theft. It's sad when you got to rearrange a whole goddamn store to keep people from stealing you blind. I just, like I told my shrink, it's a completely different society from when I grew up, and I just don't understand. I just, shit like this didn't happen back in the 50s and 60s. All right, maybe a kid would steal a Tootsie Pop or a pack of gum. They didn't go in there and rip the store off for $50, $60 worth of stuff. And then, God forbid, you get caught. Your parents would kick the shit out of you. And then drag you up to the store, embarrass the fuck out of you, and make you pay for it. Like all these idiots that get arrested for skip scanning. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. And definitely don't steal it. There's a lot of stuff I wish I could get. If there is a certain item, then I'm putting money away. And I don't even think of that item until I've got the money to pay for it. But I come from a different generation. God, the last thing I would think of is stealing from a store, especially today. And these idiots that steal from Walmart, out of all the merchandisers, and I've read this a couple of times, Walmart spends the most for camera equipment. And Walmart makes sure they have the latest and greatest camera equipment. Linda, that's because we were raised a different way. If you wanted something, you saved for it. You didn't go in and steal it. And you didn't have parents that would just buy it for you. Like kids today. My goddamn medication's wearing off already. I'm getting a backache. That's like with a PlayStation and what's the other one? You got PlayStation and because one is Microsoft and the other one is the prices of those goddamn things unbelievable. Not to mention how much it costs for the games. And kids, they've got the PlayStation, they've got every goddamn controller made and 50 games and Xbox. Thank you. I knew somebody'd save me. Yeah, Linda, you're right. Rich kids. They got nothing better to do, so let's see if we can steal something and get away with it. That's like the I don't know if he's it's if it's an Xbox or a PlayStation. Now, my buddy's grandson is a good kid. He gets A's and B's. He's got my buddy built a room in the basement for him, and it's soundproofed. He has a racing simulator that looks like something you would see in a NASCAR garage. This thing is unbelievable. It's got panoramic, it's got 3 monitors, so it's panoramic like you're sitting inside of a car. It's got a unit that mounts a steering wheel and a dashboard, and you can change steering wheels because you can do NASCAR or Formula One. Then on the side, it's got a transmission shifter, pedals, and a racing seat. And you feel like you're inside of a race car. I would hate to think what this whole unit cost. But like I say, my buddy's grandson, great kid, very intelligent, A's and B's. Helps out. He goes around the neighborhood cutting lawns for seniors that can't get out and do it and don't charge and he don't expect any money. Okay, I could see, but what that thing had to cost. I'm going to have to price. I'm going to ask my buddy. I usually don't get that nosy. I'm going to ask him what that setup cost in the basement. Because he's got 3 43-inch curved monitors, like I've got here. I got a 43-inch, it's a gaming monitor. There's 3 of them. And it's like you're sitting inside of a car. It's amazing. When he turns that thing on, it's like you're sitting inside. As you're going down the straightaway, you can see the grandstands on the right side. You know, you can see the infield in the pit area. But when you sit in this thing, and in order to start the game, you have to strap in. It's a 5-point racing harness, and if you're not strapped in, the game don't start. Oh, Linda, easy. Easy. But the kid, he earns it. Because every report card, Grandpa's like, I want to see it. Okay. And I can't remember how many subjects he's got, but he's only allowed to get 2 Bs. The rest, all A's, but no more than 2 Bs. Because the one time, I can't remember what subject it was, he dropped from an A to a B. Grandpa went downstairs and killed the breaker to his game room. He said, "Oop, next grading period, I'll trip the breaker for you if you bring that up to an A." Believe me, that kid brought it up to an A. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, my buddy said, "Yep, I went downstairs, tripped that breaker, and told him, no racing, no game, no Xbox, whatever it is." I would like to have the room that he built with all the soundproof. It when you walk in, it looks like soundproofing from a real studio. I would love to have that room. Well, I don't think he spent that kind of money, but I I'm going to ask him. I'm going to be nosy. I'm going to see how much that setup cost. Because I know the framework that all this shit mounts on. I know they bought that off a faceplant market space. It was just the bare framework. And then you mount the monitors and all, like building a car. Because he's got the same monitor. He's got 3 LGs, like the one I've got. And I'll tell you what, I love these curved monitors. I really do. They're a lot easier on the eyes. This one's a 43, and then I've got a 35 over in Studio A. This is an LG. The one over there's a Viotech. I got on sale out of Walmart. Matter of fact, I got this one on sale at Walmart. You know, I thought that, Linda. If a guy could buy pipe cheap and he knew how to weld, he could build them frameworks and sell them. There's not that much to it, but it's all got to be welded. But then how many of them are you going to sell? Unless you did, advertising, shipping, if you wanted to make a business out of it. I was just amazed at how advanced Xbox has gotten. I remember when I bought was it an Xbox? I can't remember which one I bought for my son. I mean, it was a console and a couple of controllers. Now, Christ, they got steering wheel controllers and lightsaber controllers, and that's the game I'd like to have. The Star Wars one with the lightsabers. Because I remember there was a certain game and we had to buy this camera unit so that you could play the game. Because it put you on the screen. You had to mount a goddamn camera unit up on top the monitor. And then I remember in order to play the game, you had to hold the position and then so that the game could get your dimensions. I was like, that's enough. I'm done. I said, any accessories, you buy them. And then they wonder why kids won't play outside. Got back in the day, especially summer vacation. You get up early in the morning and you were gone until the streetlights came on. Parents knew you weren't getting in trouble. And the only way you would get in trouble is if you weren't home when the streetlights came on. And the neat thing was we had a woods down at the corner. It's now the freeway, which goes to show how old I am. I actually watched them build I-71, which is at the end of my street. I can see the freeway right from my front yard. It used to be a big, huge woods. Oh, God, it was fun. We had all kinds of paths and yeah, our high tech of the day was cap guns. Oh, wow. You pull the trigger and it fired a cap. Yeah, God, I remember that woods. It was so much fun. We had all kinds of paths back there, and you went over there, you spent your whole day, and when it started to get dark, you made sure your ass was home before them streetlights came on. Parents didn't worry about you. They knew where you were. Because every kid in the neighborhood basically played together. If one kid was there, 10 were there. What? I missed it. What game? What game? What game? I missed it. I wasn't paying attention to the chat. God, I'm trying to think of the games we played as kids. Of course, hide and seek, red light, green light, Mother May I. I'm trying to think of some more. Never played Candyland. Yeah, Jinx. Yeah. Oh, come on. Come on, Grumpy. Get the brain going. E. God, I remember board games. Oh man, we play kids that all play board games, put together puzzles. There was at least one kid in the neighborhood. In the basement, they had a big card table so that you could build a puzzle and it wouldn't get disturbed. I remember I had a neat one. I had it for several years. It was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in a snowstorm. That was the name of the puzzle. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in a snowstorm. And the puzzle was a giant circle, probably about 24 inches across, and it was all white. And you had to put it together. There was nothing else, just a white circle. And it was called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in a Snowstorm. Try putting something like that together. No picture. I used to love doing puzzles. Oh my God. Matter of fact, my friends are telling me their homeowners association in their meeting house, clubhouse, whatever the hell they call it, they have a puzzle corner. They have a table set up. That's how you know you're really old. When you go up to the clubhouse and you put a puzzle together. Oh, I couldn't jump rope for shit. Although the girl that lived a couple houses up, you couldn't see the rope. She would. I never saw somebody jump rope like that. Oh my God, that puzzle sounds neat. I never saw anything like that. Where did you ever get something like that? Unreal. That sounds cool. And when you were playing board games with your friends, there was never any fist fights or you never got into big goddamn arguments. Oh, You won. Oh, you cheated. I'm going to kick the shit out of you, you know. I used to like Monopoly. I loved Scrabble. I always used to enjoy Scrabble. Scrabble, Monopoly, what was another one that I used to play a lot? Me and my friends. Scrabble, Monopoly, Life. Scrabble, Monopoly, and Life. Those were my three favorites. Never played Battleship. I know my friend had the game, but I never played it. I guess I guess I missed out on that one. Yeah, never played it. My one neighbor, she loved to play Parcheesi. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Parcheesi. Oh, Clue. Yeah, I loved Clue. Probably why I enjoy murder mysteries. Yeah, I used to love playing Clue. Now everything is fucking cell phone, you know. That's like sitting in the waiting room to go see The Shrink today. There was a guy about my age playing. It wasn't Candy Crush. What the hell was it? It looked like Candy Crush. I'm thinking to myself, ain't you got nothing better to do? Play a goddamn game. Oh yeah, Operation. That was a cool one. If you touch the nose lit up. Oops. Was always my luck when we go to play it, the frickin' batteries would be dead. That was one of the few games you needed a battery. Well, I was gonna say, Hungry Hippos. Yeah, Mousetrap. That was a good one. And Hungry Hippos. And you know, it kept us occupied, kept us out of trouble, and we were happy to play them. There was no goddamn neighborhood fight over who won, operation. I'm going to take you outside and kick your ass. Oh, I never played Rock'em Sock'em Robots. None of my friends had that one. I always saw it advertised on TV. am I pissed off. I lost my keys. My keys for all my inner doors in the house. They're all skeleton lock. I lost my skeleton keys. I can't lock up any of my interior doors. I don't know what the hell happened to them. I had them the other day. Can't find them. Because there's certain times I like to lock the studio up. Can't find the goddamn keys. And it's amazing, you know, as old as this house is, it was built like 46 or 47. All of the locks work perfect. All the skeleton doors work perfect. Nobody messed with them. You know, over the years, people, they changed the doors or... I don't know what he did with them. See, that's part of the problem with keeping them on a separate key ring. Like the keys for my locks on my washer and dryer. They're on a separate key ring. Boy, that was a shock. I would love to seen his face when he went downstairs and went, locks! Yep. And I make sure as soon as I finish, I lock the washer and dryer. Especially after that. I still hate that washing machine. Really? Wow, those would be real collector's items today. I remember the glass doorknobs. The more expensive houses had glass doorknobs. That's how you could tell the people that had money. Either porcelain doorknobs or see-through glass. Those were the hoity-toity houses. This house has steel. But yeah, I wanted to lock up my studio and I couldn't find the keys. And then when I come home, I was looking and I don't know what the hell I did with them. I'm going to have to... I don't know if I would... I know they sell them up at the hardware store, but I don't know. I hate to frickin' buy them and them not work. And I got something in my eye. God damn it. Oh, they worked perfect. And they were the original house keys, too. Yeah, goddamn Boots probably has them hidden somewhere, yeah. Because I found them in a junk drawer. There was a junk drawer in the basement. And I was like, oh, I wonder if these work. And they had to be the keys for the house. They worked like a charm. So I lubricated all the locks. And then it figures the day that I want to lock up a door, I can't find the keys. And they're not in my dresser. They're not on my dresser. They're not in here. I know that. Yeah. I was saying, Boots, no treats. You got my keys? Bring the keys out. Otherwise, no cat treats. Yeah, I come home from the doctor. There he is. He's got his head on my pillow. I looked in the bedroom, one eye opened. He looked at me. Yeah, like with that look like, yeah, what about it? I'm taking a nap. He looks like a stomach with legs. Talk about rotund. Really? You're kidding. The last time I looked, it wasn't even close. I was at, what was I, 86? 92. 8 away from 100. I might have to start planning the 100th show. I'm going to have to start planning the 100th sub show. Wow. I didn't look today. Wow, you just made my day. Holy shit. 92. Unreal. Wow. Only 8 away from 100. Yeah, that is awesome. That's, oh man. I just hope they stay there because I no sooner get, and then they, you know. I'm going to have to go look after the show tonight. I usually check daily. I think I was so mentally in tune with going to make sure everything got done before I went to my doctor's appointment. I didn't even look. Matter of fact, I didn't even watch the show. I didn't watch it last night either. Because usually I tune in and watch myself. I didn't watch it on my big TV, and I didn't watch it this morning. I know why. My buzz cutter came. That's why I was putting it together. I can't wait to use my buzz cutter now. I can guarantee Marianne want one. She'll look at that and go, oh, where did you get that? Good old Temu.com. I'm going to have to check tomorrow. I still want to order some extra blades. Even though, as tough as those are, I have to order them specific to that machine. because they've got little cutouts that drop on the arbor. You can't use one that's got just a hole in the middle. You got to have the one with the hole in the middle and then the little half moon cutouts. But as beefy as that blade is, I don't see me wearing them out. Yeah, I don't have another doctor's appointment till next week now, so got to stop and think, what doctor is that? Oh, that's the podiatrist. The one I'm going to argue with. Because I know what he's going to want to say. We need to break that toe and reset it. I don't think so. We ain't breaking no toes. Thanks, but no thanks, Doc. I know that's what he's going to want to do. He's going to look at that toe and go, I think we need to break that and reset it. I'll tell him, okay, while you're breaking my toe, I'm going to break your toe. And let's see who screams first. Oh, I already know what he's going to say. I'm just going to get his opinion, which is going to be, we need to break that toe. Not, it's been like that for years. Leave it alone. I've broken it twice already. We ain't breaking it no third time. And the thing that really pisses me off is it no sooner healed the first time, the correct way. Then about 2 months later, I ran it into the wall again, being too goddamn lazy to turn a light on in the middle of the night. Oh, right at the corner of the goddamn wall. Whack! Oh! I don't know what hurt worse, the first time or the second time. Oh, God, did that hurt. And I was going at a good clip, Kathy. Ran right into the corner of the wall. I was down on the floor holding my foot. Oh. So I just did the same thing they did the first time. Wrapped it with some tongue depressors and taped one toe to the next toe, and then I got tired of doing that, and it wasn't fully bonded, and it went eek. So instead of being straight, it's eek. It don't bother me. I've gotten used to it. I just can't wear hard shoes. So every now and then I just look on the shelf in my bedroom closet to my beautiful Italian leather loafers that I had soled and healed, going, it was nice wearing you once. As a matter of fact, I had them fixed, sold, healed, beautiful job. Tried them on. They fit perfect. And that was the last time my feet were in them shoes. And they have been with me ever since, on the shelf in my closet. Oh, I'll tell you what. He was a little Italian shoemaker, and he did a wonderful job. They look like brand new when he got done. Matter of fact, I didn't know they were Italian leather. He's like, oh, he's a Italian leather. Really? He said, I do extra special repair. And he did. I tried them on once, broke the toe, and never tried them on again. I can't even get the one on. I spent a lot of money getting them done, too. I think that's why I've kept them all these years. Going, oh man, the money I spent getting them shoes fixed. But nowadays, I don't know. There's a shop down at Cam's Corners. I don't know how the guy stays in business. Who gets shoes fixed today? Although, he does a lot of special shoes. Because he's got several customers that he has to do a lift where, you know, one sole is normal and the next sole is like that. Because I know he does the work for a lot of podiatrists. They send and I'm sure he still does. He used to make shoes for people that needed special shoes. And he's been there for years. But I don't know how he stays. Well, I know how he stays in business because he's the only goddamn shop on the west side. God, we used to have shoe repair shops all over. What? Shoe repair? Really? I didn't think people spent that money anymore. I could, like executives, yeah. But I know, like, when I worked for the county, you had to wear dress shoes. Now, you go in a county office, everybody's wearing athletic shoes. And we used to have to wear suits and ties. Last time I went in the title bureau, people were in t-shirts and blue jeans. I was like, gee, there's no dignity to the office anymore. All the women had to wear dresses or skirts. They wouldn't let you get away with pantsuits. But all the guys, we had to wear suits and ties. Now, you didn't have to wear your suit jacket in the office, but you had to come in a full suit. And a Really? Well, it must be lucrative down there for him. Because I remember we used to have 4. Now we're down to 1. Because it was him, and there was one at the plaza that direction. There was one at the plaza this direction. And there was one outside the Sears store. There was a little shop in the parking lot. Because the guy that did my loafers was the one at the plaza this way. Bajota was his name. Luigi Bajota. A little Italian guy. Luigi Bajota. I still remember his name. Because I couldn't pronounce it originally the way it looked. It looked like Biasiata, you know. He's like, oh, no, Bajota. Okay. Luigi Bajota. That's like, I needed shoelaces for my one pair of athletic shoes. I broke the damn shoelace. You can't buy shoelaces anywhere. I went up to Walgreens, they didn't have them. I went to Rite Aid, they didn't have them. I went to a hardware store, they didn't have them. I called the shoe store down. He didn't have what I needed. I ended up having to order shoelaces off of eBay. Back in the day, God, there were shoelaces everywhere. And shoe polish. There used to be, every store had a little display with shoe polish. Not now. Shinola. Always remember, my grandfather used to say, oh, that guy don't know shit from Shinola. I always felt sorry for the Shinola salesman. Getting a little warm in here. Next weekend, I'm putting my ceiling fan up in my bedroom. My remote controlled ceiling fan. Last night after dinner, I grabbed the instructions. It's going to be a bitch attaching the goddamn blades. Because you have to put the light fixture on first. Then you have to angle a goddamn screwdriver to put the blades on. I don't know why you can't put the blades on, put the light fixture on. Nope. If you have the blades on, you can't put the light fixture. You got to put the light fixture on first. You're going to hear a lot of cussing and swearing. It's a 52-incher too. But it's remote controlled. That way I won't have to get up I can just lay in bed, go eek. Yeah, control everything from the remote. The light, the fan speed. Even though it's black. But for the price I paid, I don't care. Matter of fact, Homeless Depot don't even carry that fan anymore. That must have been why they put it on clearance. Because I looked today, just for the hell of it. Don't carry it. Well, I do not understand why you would design a fan where it's going to be a bitch to attach the goddamn blades. Because I took one of the arms for the blade and I held the light fixture up against the motor, and you got to go in an angle. I don't. And if, God forbid you don't get them goddamn things tight, you'll be laying there in bed, next thing you know, a blade will take off across the room, and then you screw the fan up. Although, what I like about it is all the blades are numbered because they're pre-balanced. So you got to make sure you put, blade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the right place. Because have you ever balanced the goddamn fan? Them little itty bitty stick on weights. I couldn't believe when I read the instructions. Pre-balanced fan blades. I was like, I guess I can put up with trying to fight to get the screws tight. Nothing worse than having it out of balance and the goddamn fan is cattywampusing. I'll never forget, oh my God, it's got to be 10 years ago, easy. My buddy's mother had a ceiling fan in the kitchen. And they didn't balance the fucking blades. And that fan had whoop, 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 looked like a broken fucking helicopter. Whoop, 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 whoop. One Thanksgiving, they got the fan going on high. It shook the goddamn fan out of the mount from the ceiling, and the fan fell in the middle of the dinner table. Boom! Food went everywhere. Oh my God, what a fucking mess. The fan came down like a broken helicopter. It shook it right out of the ceiling. Oh, man. He showed me pictures, Yeah. Goddamn wires hanging out of the ceiling, Here's a goddamn fan in the middle of the dinner table. Food everywhere. Broken dishes. I was like, well, I guess you learn to balance the blades the next time. Although I'll tell you, I lucked out with this one. I put the fan up, I turned it on, and it runs perfect. I didn't have to put any weights on any blade. And it's still running that nice. But this is a rarity. Because every fan I've ever put up, I've had to balance the blades, and they are a pain in the ass. That's why I was shocked when I was reading this and went, make sure fan blades are put, on in order. They're pre-balanced. I was like, whoa. I guess it's worth fighting with the screws and the screwdriver to get it up there. I can't wait to install it, though. It's a neat looking fan. But like I said yesterday, the fixture is an LED light. If it burns out, you got to disassemble the fan and buy a new fixture. You can't replace the LEDs. I had a fan like that at the other house. I could only run it on low because I could never get the goddamn blades to balance. As a matter of fact, I even went up to the homeless depot and bought new blades. And it was something in the goddamn arms because I had put new blades on. It was still screwed up. Plus, I like to cheat. Rather than now, I bought a 52 for the bedroom because I couldn't beat the price. But what I would do is buy a 36 and then buy the 52-inch blades. Of course, you burn the goddamn motor out because the motor isn't made for those big-ass blades, but oh, you got one you can't balance? Aren't they a pain in the ass? Yeah, I couldn't run it on high or medium. And what's more worthless than it being 90 degrees and you can't turn the speed up on the goddamn fan? Running it on low, all you do is push the hot air around. Because what I do, I have a window air conditioner. About an hour before I go to bed, I'll turn the air conditioner on, run it on high. Then, when I go to bed, I shut the air conditioner off and I run the ceiling fan. By then, the room is cooled down, and the ceiling fan. But see, with me being, cold most of the time, it works perfect. It moves the air just enough to keep me at the right temperature. Oh, I had a little chat with the pharmacist today. I asked him, I said, can you order the patches from my other manufacturer? He looked and he went, yeah. Now, he says to me, is your doctor going to place the order for the 75s? I said, yes. Order them. If they're in stock at the warehouse, order them so that they're here. So he went right in. He said, when they come in, I'll put your name on them. You know, Linda, my pain management doctor, they went out and they bought an LG refrigerator. It was $3,600. Now, it did everything except the laundry, you know. It even had a goddamn monitor in the door so they could watch TV in the refrigerator. In the span of 8 months, it had 3 compressors. He said, if the third compressor goes out, he said the fucking thing's going out on the tree lawn, and he's going to go buy a cheap refrigerator. He said, you know, we bought what I thought was going to be the best, figuring we'd have it 10, 15 years. It's sad that some LG stuff is just crap. And I have heard more problems with the refrigerators and the ranges. And that shit ain't cheap today. But everything's got a goddamn computer in it. Everything. That's like friends of mine. They bought all new appliances for their kitchen. And his wife is bragging that she can turn the oven on or off with her cell phone. She can look in the fridge from her cell phone. She can turn her microwave on and off with a cell phone. Are we that lazy that we can't get up off our ass? Yeah, everything. Turn the dishwasher on and off with the cell phone. Now, I'm going to jinx myself. I'm going to jinx myself. My refrigerator is 20 years old. It's a basic refrigerator freezer. No ice maker, nothing fancy. 20 years old. I would be afraid to buy a new one. I know what I got with that goddamn washing machine, which I hate. You know, my other washer, I could bump the time on the timer. You know, if I didn't want it to go 20 minutes, I could do it 10, you know. Not this one. I'll never forget. I ran into my buddy's wife in the grocery store, and she was standing like in the butter and egg area, and she was looking at her cell phone. And I says to her, I says, "Oh, well, you got your grocery list in your cell phone?" She said, "No, I'm checking the fridge to see if I need eggs or butter." And then she showed me her cell phone, and there it is. There's the inside of a refrigerator. You're just begging for shit to break. And then, do we need a television set built into the door of our refrigerator? We can't buy a little monitor, stick it on the counter? Oh no. So we watch TV while we're eating, staring at the refrigerator door. Yeah, it's got I think a 13-inch monitor in the door. And they watch TV while they eat, staring at the refrigerator. His wife was like, "Well, it don't take up counter space." Uh, you can't hang a monitor on the wall. No, we have to buy a refrigerator that has a TV in it. Stupid. Hang on a minute. I'm going to bitch my kid out. He's blasting his goddamn stereo. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it. Inconsiderate. I didn't think it was that loud. Oh no, it's not that loud. They can hear it 5 blocks from here. And he plays the same goddamn song over and over and over and over. One of these days I'll be in bracelets. You'll be watching me on the first 48. I'll tell you, I am hooked on It takes place in Britain. It's called A Killer in My Village. I am hooked on that because it is amazing the detail that their forensics departments go into. Unbelievable. I'll tell you what, they are so far advanced over us. The way they investigate crime over there. They literally rope off the whole scene. The detective will go in and look. And then, before they even remove the person, the forensics team goes in. And it's amazing. They put down plates on the floor so that they don't step on the floor. They put these aluminum plates down. They put moon suits on, gloves. Yes. Now, I don't have YouTube Premium. I just got regular YouTube. I go into YouTube on the TV, and it's called A Killer in My Village. Outstanding. And it's amazing how many little villages they have, you know. But if you're into those type of programs, you'll get hooked on it like I am. And then there's another one. It's something forensics. Because they have one that's just forensics. And then there's another one, missing turns to murder. So you've got A Killer in My Village and missing turns to murder. Outstanding. I don't even watch the first 48 anymore, and I was hooked on that. Every night, if you're into that, look at the way they investigate versus us. And they are so advanced that, like, at 8 p.m., if they go in and they swab a blood stain, by 4 o'clock the next afternoon, they've got full DNA panel. They are that advanced over there. It's amazing. Not to mention, I like the accent. Although, there are some of those Killer in My Village that are done in Scotland. Oh my God. Try understanding Scottish people. Holy shit. I don't know how they can understand one another. I'm like, what the hell did he say? But it keeps you at the edge of your seat. It really does. It's just the way they film it, and they explain everything in detail. Like, they'll take you in the forensics lab and they'll explain all in deep detail of each operation. I have learned so much about forensics watching British TV. Like I say, I'm hooked. And usually they'll have, in a 2 hour, most of these run 2 hours. They'll do 3 crimes in 2 hours. But I like the little villages, they interview, residents. Oh, I've lived in Borgwart for 30 years, and the biggest crime we ever had here was a stolen bicycle, Okay. They'll interview the butcher and the local barkeeper, It makes it interesting and fun. And they don't call them bar owners. They call them publicans. The person that owns the bar is called a publican. I've never heard that term. Publican. Because the first time I heard it, the detective said, well, if there was any way, we were going to get some leads, we had to go talk to the publican. I was like, what the hell's a publican? And then next thing you know, the detectives are in the bar. The pub, pardon me. Pub. Talking to the publican. Not to mention, they pronounce everything different. Like, we call them vitamins, they call them vitamins. We call it a respiratory system, they call it a respiratory system. And the operating room is a theater. That one got me. They were in the hospital. The one detective said to the other one, it's time to go to the theater. And I'm like, you guys are investigating a goddamn crime and you're going to go watch a movie? No. It's the operating theater. I've learned a lot about British terminology. Yeah, I couldn't believe that when it's time to go to the theater. I was like, boy, you guys really got a different way of investigating crime. You're at the scene of the crime and now you're going to go watch a movie. No, the operating theater. We call it the anesthesiologist and they call it the anesthetist. We're going to have a chat with the anesthetist. Oh, okay. Oh. I'm hooked on British TV. I love it. But if you're into that cat, you'll love A Killer in My Village. Or Missing Turns to Murder. Watch The Killer in My Village first. That's the good one. because they really go into detail. They make the program interesting for the layman because they break it down, they explain it. Like when they go into the forensics lab and the girl will tell you how they extract the DNA and how they read blood spatter, and I have learned a lot about how they investigate crime. It's way different than here. And it's an entertaining program on top of it. As a matter of fact, I probably 90% of TV that I watch, I click on, on YouTube. And with my Roku TV, I have like a whole selection that I can watch. Different channels. At night, YouTube. Oh, and they really go into detail, and they make it so that the layman can understand everything they're doing. It's amazing. I love the program. I love it. Matter of fact, I got Marianne hooked on it, and she was never big on crime, shows. I was telling her about it 2 weeks ago. She says, every night I tune in. I was like, oh, you like it, huh? Plus the accent. I love the accent. I love the British accent. Although sometimes it's a little hard to understand them because they don't finish words. Like the woman said, well, I had to check on my daughter. It's like, I have to check on my daughter. Your daughter? Yeah, her daughter. You're missing a letter there somewhere. That's my daughter. And the nice thing, no cliffhangers. The crime goes from start to court. Although I'll tell you, they've got the screwiest court system. You get a life sentence. Now here, a life sentence means a life sentence. No. You get a life sentence of 20 years. How can that be a life sentence? It's 20 years. The only time you get a real life sentence, and it's a rarity over there, you get what they call a whole life sentence. Then you're there until they pat you in the face with a shovel. But it's strange, they'll say, well, he got a life sentence of 22 years. That ain't a life sentence. And their trials take forever. Here we'll have a murder trial, it'll go like 3 weeks. Over there, 15 weeks, 20 weeks. And when they're doing the interrogation, a guy will sit there. They'll ask him, were you on Front Street at 10 a.m.? No comment. Were you on Front Street at 10:30? No comment. The one night, the one guy, they interviewed him for 2 hours. No comment. No comment. No comment. No comment. Give it up already. And then they got the goofiest handcuffs. They're stacked, straight up and down. No cuffing this way. They cuff this way. I've never saw handcuffs like that before. Straight up and down. But it's interesting. You learn a lot. It's very interesting. I have learned so much about the British legal system and how they conduct their investigations. Very interesting. I love watching it. I really do. Every night, I'm hooked on it. Didn't I like this? I ate the last of my Italian sausage last night. I have to go get some more. And it was Johnsonville. First time I've ever had Johnsonville hot Italian sausage or Johnsonville Italian sausage. It was just as good as if I would go to the butcher shop and get fresh hot Italian sausage. I was really impressed. Now I like Johnsonville brats, but the Italian sausage was on sale, 2 for $5. I was like, whoa, 2 for $5. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. I was impressed. So, Johnsonville, sponsor me. I'll take it in sausage. I like the cooked brats, the white ones. I love them. I had never tried their Italian sausage. I was like, oh, they can't make Italian sausage. 2 for $5, when they're usually $5.99 each. I was like, okay, delicious. And tastes like authentic Italian sausage. So the next time it goes on sale, I'm going to buy a shitload and put it in the freezer. Because I was impressed with it. And I'm a real snob when it comes to certain items. But I love the cooked brats. Those are the white ones. What I do is I'll bring them to a boil, and then I take them out and I put them in the toaster oven, the broiler. And then I brown them real nice. Delicious. But that Italian sausage impressed me. It really did. And it had, I like the hot Italian sausage. It had just enough bite. Just enough. Not overpowering. Delicious. Gets my stamp of approval. You're a sausage snob, huh? Okay. We're talking Italian sausage, not Kaiser meats. Next time I go, I'll send you a couple of pounds. Go out to Kaiser's for old time's sake. I got to take a ride out there at least once this year. Buzz down to the funeral home, see if anybody I know is still there. Hit the bakery and head west. I wonder if the bakery's still there. God, I'm trying to think where the bakery was. It's been a godzillion years since I've been out there. It's got to be about 20 years since I've been out there. Easy. Because I haven't been out that way since I quit working for the limousine service. And that was 04, 05. Yeah, 20 years. Oh, okay. Okay. I remember where it's at now. Yeah, I know where Casey's is. Yeah. Okay. I'll have to call first. Because I'll call Kaiser's too. Mainly to find out their hours. And if I'm sure they're still open. I can't see Kaiser's closing. No way, shape, or form. That's right. Duh. That's why we would have been standing next to one another in either place. I'd have irritated the shit out of you in Kaiser's, and then I'd have walked in the bakery and you're like, oh God, he's over here now? I'd be standing there going, why'd that woman run out of the store? Did she steal something? Now, you were close enough. I think it's Kaczors, I think. While I'm at it, I have to swing down Fleet Avenue and see if Krasinski's is still open. Get me some good smokies. And some good Polish sausage. Oh, I hate spell check. Especially if I'm doing a text message, you know. And you put in somebody's name and it corrects it to something not even close. Speaking of food, I think it's food time. Come on, tablet. Cooperate. Cooperate. Well, peoples, it's that time. We know where, right here, 7 p.m. And with that, thanks everybody for being here. It was another fun night. And we will meet again right here tomorrow night. And with that, have an absolute wonderful rest of your evening. See ya.